Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm Kara, your local art witch. Today, we're going to play with some ResinCrete from JDiction, and we're going to make some Yule gifts. We get to do an unboxing, a demo, and some painting techniques today. So join me today if you'd like to learn how to mix, pour, create, and paint some ResinCrete. Well, I am so excited to share the JDiction ResinCrete DIY Christmas kit with you. Look at all the goodies that are inside here. I had no idea when they mentioned they were sending me a kit that this many molds and stuff was going to be in here. So I'm really excited. I expected like 3 little molds. We got a little Christmas tree mold here. You can make a coasters out of that one. And what is this one? Ooh, it's a tree. I'll definitely make that one. I have an idea for that. And what is in here? It looks like a snowman. If I have enough left over, I'll make that one too. It's nice measuring cups. I think I'll keep those and I'll use my bowl that I mix my other ResinCrete in. And wicked spatula. We got some paint here, 3 paint brushes. What else here? This is a paint palette, so you can mix your paint up. You could also put the paint in the ResinCrete as well. Comes with a couple 300 gram bags. This stuff is like composed of pure mineral extracts. So you mix a little with water and it minimizes the impact on the environment. It's basically ensuring zero chemical violation when you're rocking with this stuff. So that's why I like using this, because when I've used my UV resin, just opening the cap, it stinks. It's toxic. As soon as I have to cook it under the UV light, it is so toxic. I'm using a respirator people have to clean out of the room. It smells so bad. It's so bad for you. This stuff is incredible to use. This is my second time using ResinCrete, and I am so tickled. I made the witch's runes. I'll throw you a link here above with that. Now you can see, wondering what to do with some of this, but this stuff is also not only durable, it's heat proof. It'll be food safe as well, as long as you seal it with some and waterproof it. Comes with some instructions here. I have used this before, so I'm going to show you my little techniques along with this before. I totally enjoy this product. So what you can do here, if you use the entire bag, it is 300 grams of the bag versus 90 milliliters of water. I wasn't sure if I was going to use the whole bag, so I was counting out my 10:3 ratio. And I'm using teaspoons here, and I add an extra half a teaspoon into my mixture every time. And I like it to be a little bit more runnier, and that way it gives me just a little bit runnier, just not too much, and it gives me more room to play with, especially working in with these ornament molds. They have a tiny little hole that you have to make sure you get all the resin in. If it's too thick and you don't work fast enough, then it could crack on those little bits. So if it's thinner, it actually goes in the nooks and crannies a lot easier. Stirring in 60 to 90 seconds, and I'm banging out the bubbles here. That's why I'm shaking the bowl. And then after I do that for a little bit, I let it sit for about 30 seconds. And if you watch for 30 seconds, all the bubbles start popping. They all come to the surface and pop, 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 because you can't shake the molds Now I didn't know with this tree what we have to do here as well with the trees. You got to squeeze out the bubbles on each of the corners on the tips of the tree. I thought that's just the way the mold was after I took it out, but just a little hint and tip also to squeeze out the bubbles from each of the corners of the tips of the trees, or you can just leave it the way I did. Now I find this stuff super easy to pour. It's fast curing, so this is going to be about 30 minutes and these are going to be ready. I left the tree and I also poured the Yule Kitty. We're just going to call it a Yule Kitty. It's a three-eyed cat, but I just wanted to use some ResinCrete to make a cat, a three-eyed cat. So we're going to call it a Yule Kitty. Believe in the Yule Kitty. So the Yule Kitty, I also left that one for about 40 minutes and you can actually feel the heat, and then when it started to cool down, I took out the mold and it was beautiful. This one's 30 minutes. Again, now it's like really lightweight, ready to rock, and it pulls out of the mold so easily. I was shocked when I made the Witch's Runes set with ResinCrete. I didn't have to use a demolder or anything. They came out so crisp, nice and flat on the back, and it's like porcelain smooth. There, see the little tips where the top of the ornament is. The first time I made a set, they worked out really well. In my second set, I made the ResinCrete was starting to harden. It was getting a little thicker because I was already pouring in some of the molds, and the tips broke. So that was on me. That was me because I was I let it be too thick before I was pouring it into the nooks and crannies. But when I poured how I did with my resin with here, as you can see here, everything is so crisp and so tight, and I did have a little bit thinner ResinCrete. I do add just a smidgen more water. Let's see, this one should be ready now. It's been about 40 minutes. So far the mold is very easy to take off. Little pop off. It's hanging on pretty good. Boop! I thought I was going to break the star, but I didn't. See, there's bubbles on the corner of each of the tree. Unbeknownst to me, we didn't know a hint and tip that we had to do afterwards was squeeze out the bubbles from the tips. So you can do that or not. I'm going to pour a second tree. And this was, oh my gosh, my third eye psychic kitty. I used up a bag of ResinCrete just to make this. But this is a candle mold that I bought a couple months back, and it's ready for ResinCrete. I got these two trees. I thought it'll look cool. I'm going to do a little matching twin set. Possibly may use these colors in the palette, but I think I'm going to stick to black and white. I was going to do some little red berries or bring in some other aquas, but I want them just playing with the black and white. What can I say? I've been watching a lot of Tim Burton recently. Now these come with 3 paintbrushes, and I was surprised. I'm saying, yeah, woohoo, ResinCrete JDiction. I'm actually really impressed with these paintbrushes. Usually the paintbrushes that you get with all kits of all prices and all qualities, they're horrible little hair brushes, and these are super tight. This brush is flexible enough I can get this dry brush technique. Look at this. And the 2 other small paintbrushes are super fine tip. I was able to get into the little nooks and crannies and the little holes in the ResinCrete molds of what came out of for the ornaments. Super happy about that. Doing a dry brush, flick up from the edges all the way around. And a bit of dry brush across the stars. Now the colors that I chose to stick with is black, white, and I added silver. I think the white needed a little bit more, so I added the silver into it. So I painted everything, went in white first. These molds were really easy to paint. Let's work on Yule Kitty. Woo! Little Yule Kitty. Do you believe in Yule Kitty? I believe in Yule Kitty. I just want to have a Yule Kitty just so I can paint this. Excuse to use this mold. Now I did start off with, I don't know why, beige. I didn't want it to stand out as much. And then I went with the greens and it was like, oh yuck, it was too much. So I changed it. I started painting golds over top of the beige. I tried the greens on it. And I was just lost too much. I couldn't see. I just couldn't see the color variation that I had in my head. So after painting the corners of the eyes green, I'm going to be bringing in some forest greens. Now that I've lost my place where I drew, so I'm going to paint in the irises. So where I painted beige, I'm going to go back now and I'm going to go back over with gold. So this is, I think, a better choice. It really punches out the eyes. I love this stuff. It's so easy to paint. That black was one coat. It's not streaky at all if you're painting with clear resin. If you're painting over that, oh, which I've done. It's really easy to like paint in the cracks and wipe off though what they do the clear resin. Now bringing in the forest colors. Just lots and lots and lots of layers when doing eyes. So I'm just bringing up little lines, little ticks, and bringing in that sage green again for the nose. Now it kind of looks like a pig nose there, but that's okay because I use a little bit of black. Let that dry for a couple seconds, and while that's drying, I'm going to paint and just tidy up around the eyes. Just paint around the eyelids so you can't see any of my brush over lines. Who's to say, who's to know? And now the pig nose. And we're just going to clean up those lines, and now I have some super fine green lines for the nose. Yeah. Going in very gingerly, very slowly, very carefully. We're going to do a couple little dots for a little shine of the white. My favorite part about doing eyes. That's my last part. You could always take a bit of a clear nail polish over the eyes too, or some Mod Podge, give them a bit of a shine, or if you have some UV resin, a little shine on the nose too. Yeah. Aww. She's so cute. Okay, now that those are dried, I'm going to be bringing in this. I use this green so much. I'm going through a phase with this green. I don't know what it is. I can't stop. But this moss green has like this gold highlights in it, depending on how you turn it and shine. It's like those cars that have that really cool iridescent color, depending on which way you look at it. You're going to see different colors. I love this color shift paint. It is worth every penny. So we're bringing in some dry brushing with this one. I'm going to put a little extra paint in the ears though, a little bit thicker in the ears so I see more of the greens that'll pop out. And lots of layers, so just build it up. So I wound up doing about 3 layers of dry brushing of the same color and just built it up and took my time. And it's a super easy technique, and it's one of my favorite techniques to do. I love dry brushing. So all the little bumps and nooks and crannies and all the little, what would you call them, textures here on this little cat head sculpture. It's going to be really cool when it all flares out, comes out. So again, just lots of layers. Again, just take your time, dry brush. I use the paper towel to dab it off here and there, and then you could really, I'm going in a little darker now around the face. She's almost got an Egyptian look. I just realized now, I think I need to make another one and do Egyptian eye makeup on this one. Ooh. I think that needs to happen. I need to get some more ResinCrete. Oh, if you guys want to get some ResinCrete too, I'm going to give you in the description down below a 20% off coupon. And this 20% off user code, more per se, you could use it directly on their website or their Amazon link. I'm going to throw down both links below. Look at her. She's all done and gorgeous. I love the little Yule Kitty. I'm super excited. I don't know, Christmas Kitty or Yule Kitty. I think I'm going to call her Yule Kitty. So if you stick to the end of the video, I'll also throw up the discount code as well for ResinCrete JDiction. So I was thinking about leaving these flat, but I think I'm going to clear coat them as well. My Christmas Kitty are beautiful little, I'm gonna keep it like this because I like a lot of the dry brushing I did with the greeny gold. So I don't know if I wanna, if I clear coat it, it's gonna bring out a different effect. It'll actually bring out some more of the black and I'll lose some of this dry brush. So I think I will keep this little one just like that. So he's done, but now let us go clear coat this stuff and I will be right back and let's see how it looks. Well, we have the finished product. I have it all shined up now. I'm much happier with the product now. When I first did some painting, especially on this one, you could see where I tried to paint over. I couldn't paint the snowflakes very well. But these ones I was able to get in here quite well, and the paint brushes that were provided were very, very sharp and very fine, and I was able to get in there pretty good actually. I got in there pretty well on this snowman here. Love this. Where's my Santa? There he is, my little black Santa, my little white Christmas tree. And these turned out so awesome. I'm very, very, very happy with them. I think a little Nightmare Before Christmas kind of flavor has it to it. And my Yule Kitty. Look at her. She's so gorgeous. So I used the rest of the ResinCrete that was in there and I made a kitty. I didn't make more Christmas things. Because this is a Yule Kitty, right? I believe in the Yule Kitty, don't you? Yay! Now there was one more ornament that you could see it's streaky here. I actually painted it a couple times. I could not get in here. It's not indented deep enough to catch the paint like these ones were. This was really easy. And it had quite a bit of indent to get the paint in versus this one. I tried again and I'm not that patient. I also tried doing some dry brushing on this first to see if I could bring this out. My first intention was a dry brush knot and make it look a little bit differently than these ones. but it didn't quite work out. So I painted it black, tried it again, tried to get in here with some smaller fine points of white, didn't work out, painted it black again. I'm gonna just put this off to the side as it's a miss out of the hit and miss there category. But I'm super happy with this, and I'm gonna give all these to my mother, and I'm stoked. Yule is the most wonderful time of the year to hang out with your family and friends. If you're hunting for that perfect gift for things to do with your friends or family or young ones, this gift was just so much fun. I had a blast. My daughter and I, we made a bunch of stuff. It was easy to use. I love that it's eco-friendly, especially for my daughter's sake. The product is smooth. It is so resistant. It is so durable. And I like it because I'm a impatient witch, and this is fast curing, so I can paint it right away. As one thing is curing, I'm making something else. I love it. Anyway, thanks so very much, and enjoy these discount codes here up on the screen, as well as in the description of the links down below to their main website and their Amazon link to their product. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and have yourself a magical day.